Hi everybody, this is David Neufeld for the Best Buy Canada blog, and I'm back today with another multi-monitor setup. So I've got here three amazing ASUS VG245HY model monitors. Like I said, they're 24 inches, they're great for gaming. They've got 1 millisecond response time and lots of great features, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more in depth a little later on. We're specifically going to take a look at playing some great games on this setup. Multi-monitor setups are of course great in a lot of different scenarios, but today we are definitely going to focus primarily on playing some amazing games with this setup. But before we get to the games, I'm actually going to first touch on the ROG Bezel Free kit. And I'm actually going to go through unpacking and installing the kit on these three monitors to get rid of the bezel view so that we just have a 3-wide monitor view. So let's go ahead and dig in. I'm going to open up the box here. So this is just going to slide out like that. And you can see I've got 4 clips here, so I'm just going to pull those out, and these are going to be what we're going to attach to the top and the bottom of the monitor, where the bezel-free partitions attach. So we've also got this here. I'll slide that out, and that's where the actual bezel-free pieces are. And you'll notice just inside the packaging here, we also have you can see from the back here, it's just a little piece of cardboard that actually pops out. And what that is actually just a nice little guide that will let you kind of measure the angles. And I've done this before in the past and found that this is definitely really helpful just at the start to kind of get the approximate angle that they should be at. And then you'll find once you install the Bezel Free kit that of course you'll have to just probably tweak it just little inches or little millimeters to the side to make the angle perfect. But this will give you the basic starting point angle that you probably want to work from. So I'm just going to also slide this out, so there we go. Dump this down. And of course there's some instructions on how to do it. I've done this a couple times now, so I'll leave those over there in case I need to reference them, but in the meantime, so we've got 2 pieces, and it actually will tell you which side. There's one that says L, so that's for the left monitor, and one says R, so that would be for the rightmost monitor. There we go. So we've got a left and right. So I'm just going to place those like that. So like I said to start, I'm just going to take this little piece of cardboard here. I'm going to use it, just kind of place it in between the monitors like that. So as soon as they're flat on both sides, then I know I've got the monitors roughly in the position that they're going to want to be in for the Bezel Free kit to work properly. So I have the monitors roughly lined up, so I'm going to take my first one. This has an L, so I know this is for the left side. So basically all we really need to do now is attach a couple of these clips. So they've got a little button on the side there, and that's what holds it in place. So if you push the button in, you'll be able to slide the plastic piece of the Bezel Free kit on, and then it'll hold it in place until you push the button again, and you can adjust it up and down. And that's what allows you to get it snug, and what allows it obviously to work on multiple sizes of monitors. And there you go, that's basically all there is to that. So now that the bezel free kit is in place, I'm going to obviously have to adjust it a little bit to get the angle correct, but I'm just quickly going to do the other one first. Okay, so I've got both of my pieces on, but of course in the act of doing so I kind of jostled things around a bit and nothing's quite straight. But now that they're actually attached, it's just a matter of kind of tweaking them and moving them around so that ultimately you get the exact right angle. Alright, so it's always going to take a little bit of tweaking, and you're going to want to, you know, be a little finicky and just try and get the angle as best you can. I know I'm not sure if the camera angle is, it's obviously not the exact same angle that I'm seeing, so it might seem a little off, but the important thing is just to sit where you're going to sit in front of the computer, and once you kind of move them around just so, then the bezel free kit will actually make the bezels in between just kind of disappear. So there you have it. We've got our bezel free kit installed, so now I'm going to check out some games. So there are a few ways to enjoy your games with a multi-monitor setup like this. I mean, one way is obviously just to keep each monitor as its own independent screen, and by that I mean, of course, you would still have them set up so that your mouse can travel across all of them, that you can move, you know, windows and things freely. And so my computer here happens to be using an NVIDIA card. So I'm just going to show you what I did quickly to set it up so that I can play games using all three screens. So I'm just going to open the NVIDIA control panel here, and again, this is going to vary for you depending on what type of GPU you have. But for me, on this one, I'm going to use the NVIDIA control panel. Okay. And so you'll see it open up here, and I'm not sure how well you can see this. I'll try and zoom in a bit, but anyway, so you've got quite a few options here on the side. You might think that you want to set up multiple displays, but that's actually not the case. That's just the same as doing it through Windows, where you would go through to just detect all three displays. What we want to do to make all three displays into one screen for one game is to go to here where it says Configure Surround. And if you click on that, I guess I was already clicked on that, but you can see where you can set the following, and what we want to do is span displays with surround. So, alright, so now I'm going to take a look at some of the pretty incredible and awesome things you can do with gaming with a 3-monitor setup like this, particularly when you have it, the screen resolution formatted to fill all 3 monitors. So to start with, probably one of the best types of games that you can really see the benefit of this is, of course, in a racing game. So I've got a racing game here up here. I've got Grid 2 going, and I'm just going to show you what it kind of looks like here with all 3 monitors. So you can see it's really cool. We've got the whole view going across all 3 monitors, and it's just you maybe can't even quite appreciate it looking from the camera, but it's very immersive with the way it wraps around. And sorry, I'm trying to talk and drive at the same time, so I'm not doing so great, but hopefully you can just see some of the kind of all-around immersive view that we're getting, and even more so if I just toggle the camera view a bit here, and now we're right in the cockpit, and it's definitely a very cool thing to see, to get the feeling of kind of being right inside the vehicle here with the 3-monitor view. Alright, so here's another game. This time I'm using Stardew Valley, a bit of a different type of game, but still a very cool effect nonetheless. You can see, if you are accustomed to playing Stardew Valley, obviously how much of the screen of your entire farm you can see all chained together here. And you'll see there is some black on the sides, but that's actually not a limitation of the monitors or the resolution. That's just where this screen literally ends. Like, you can't go any further than here or here. So it is truncated a bit only for that reason. But you can see as I move along here, really cool how you can just see your the entire space of your farm in one screen. And I'll just show you really quickly. So we'll move over to the next screen, and again it's going to be a little bit even more truncated just because this is the whole width of the screen that's loaded there. But when we get to town, now this is really incredible how you can see the entire breadth of the town in Stardew Valley. And normally when you're playing on a normal screen, like if you enter from here, you can't even see Pierre's store yet, but with this 3 monitor wide setup now, I can see all the way from where I enter the town across Pierre's store. There's the bridge and beyond. So just really cool how with this super wide 3 monitor setup you can see so much of the town Stardew Valley. Have you ever seen Joe Jamart's and Pierre's in the same screen? So there you go. Very cool. Alright, so just finally to finish off one more game, I'll show you a little bit of the pretty new turn-based strategy game XCOM Chimera Squad. And again, you can see the screen is completely full, and we can just see such a broad view of the entire battlefield. So let's just go ahead and click breach here and take a look at the action. Do some breach fire here, and yeah, so now we have the whole map set up, and you can see we can actually see so much of the screen that we're getting the tops of buildings and things outside. So really very cool to be able to see so much of the entire XCOM map across the screen without having to scroll across outside the border of the monitor. Yeah, so that's about all I have for you today, but as I said, this 3 monitor setup, I'm using a 3 24-inch ASUS VG245HY model monitors, and they're really great for this, for gaming. Obviously, as I said, they have a really low response time, and they're a really nice size for this as well too. I've done these 3 monitor setups in the past, and one of the last ones I did was I believe they were 27 or 28-inch monitors, so they were even bigger, and they really I had to set it up like I have it now on my kitchen table. But with that one, with those monitors, even then they were so big that they were almost spilling off the edge of the table. So these 24-inch monitors are a really good size, I think, for this kind of setup, because they aren't so broad that they are a nuisance to even find space to put them. But really, once you're kind of in the zone and immersed in this kind of wraparound wide viewing angle, I don't think there's too much of a difference unless you're sitting further away. So of course both have their strong suits, but when I was playing with these particular monitors, I found the size and everything to be really nice. Anyway, like I said, that's all I have for you today, but be sure to stay tuned to the Best Buy blog for all the latest in gaming and technology. See you next time.